Alrighty, and we there.
Yeah.
Wait for these gentlemen. All right, y'all. Wait for the people to fall up in here. Waiting for some people to fall up in here.
Shout out to Bernie L. What up? What up? What up?
Bernie L. Appreciate you, fam. Iceberg S. Oh. There you go.
You got a banner to put on the 516-387-1224.
Okay, hold on real quick. It's at 516?
516-387-1224.
Oh, scroll this bitch.
And if you see questions on the in the chat, you could hit the star. Like when you hover, you'll see a star. Hit the star, and it'll keep the questions in the.
Oh, wait a minute! Oh, wait! You said now? You said what now? What's going on with the?
Yeah. So anything you see in the chat, you could hover over it, and on the right, you'll see a star. If you click the star,
okay, I see.
So whenever you got questions, you ain't got to go back. They'll put them in like a list for you. Just click on the star.
Bet. That's a new feature. Bet. Cool.
Yep.
I'm feeling that. All right, gentlemen, we're about to get started. Dukalux, Kenwood Drive, Unique 79, Khalid Johnson, Joshua Martin, Daniel G. Oh, y'all coming up in this bitch. Ronnie, Granados, Jedi James. What's good? All right. So y'all see the title, man. How to overcome being an introvert, introducing your true self to the world. Let me just say this right quick. I just want guys to understand being an introvert is not necessarily a bad thing. Necessarily, but I think a lot of guys get it confused because a person who may be called reticent or shy, they can be classified as an introvert, but being shy or a recluse, that's not a good thing. Okay, right. That's not a good thing. Also, people who might identify as socially awkward, they may identify it as an introvert, and that's not what an introvert really is. Just a real quick definition. Introvert, a shy, reticent person, not revealing one's thoughts or feelings readily. Introverts tend to enjoy simply thinking about and examining things in their own minds. Self-awareness and self-understanding is important to introverts. So they often devote a great deal of time to learning about themselves. But not every person who's socially awkward or shy is doing those things.
Right.
They're not all doing self-evaluations. So you can easily be classified. I can't even talk. You can easily be classified as an introvert, but you're really just a socially awkward recluse. You know what I'm saying? Understand that. Miles, you got anything you want to add before we continue with it?
Yeah, I just want to say, a lot of times, I don't like when dudes use things like this as a crutch or as an excuse to not go out and do what the fuck you got to do as far as hollering at these chicks, or just doing what you do in general. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times our careers, our lives can benefit so much from going out and meeting people and doing things that we need to do as far as networking and other things like that. And we don't do it because we're holding on to this label of introvert. Like, oh, I'm an introvert, so that's why I don't do it. And it's like, listen, man, if you're trying to advance, if you're trying to do something, you have to go and talk to people. Because even being an introvert, if you know you got to get up and go to work and talk to people, then that's what you're gonna go do. You understand? Nobody goes to a job and during the job interview, they'd be like, well, for this job, we need you to be a people person, right? And you're gonna sit there and tell the boss or tell the interviewer, well, I'm an introvert, so I don't want to talk to people. They're gonna be like, oh, well, you're not right. You ain't right for this job. Like, you're not gonna get the job. You get what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get paid. So it's like, it only means that you're more comfortable examining things in your mind and, keeping to yourself. However, you still know, like, if you need to talk to people, you can. If you need to be social, you can. You understand? It's not an excuse for you to lock yourself up or be in the crib and talk about, well, that's why I'm not talking to none of these chicks because, I'm an introvert. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not what we're talking about here.
Exactly. So, yeah, we don't want to use that excuse. Now, me, I'm more of an ambivert. I can kind of toggle between the two as far as an extrovert, introvert. As you were saying, I can be to myself, cool, but I can also be a sociable person. I could be out there talking, meeting people. So what we're talking about, gentlemen, if you look at the title, how to overcome being an introvert, we're really talking about like the people who are shy. And there's nothing wrong with being reserved, because there's a big difference between being shy. You're scared to express yourself. You're not real sociable because you're worried about what people think about you, that type of shit. Okay. That won't cut it. Okay, I'm what you might call, I have, introvert tendencies, but I also have extrovert tendencies. I can get out there and kick it and be lively like everybody else. I could be the life of the party, or I could be the dude on the couch with a drink that's reading the room, not talking to no fucking body.
Right.
But best believe when I see a bad bitch walk by, come on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's snatching up quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but there's a difference. Now, when I say introducing yourself, your true self to the world, it's not necessarily about who you really are deep down inside, because a lot of people ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Even right now, there's a lot of men who have horrible attitudes. You have no self-confidence. You have no self-esteem, no pride in yourself. So when we talk about introducing your true self to the world, it's also about you looking at what you lack. It's looking at your weaknesses and then showing up those things up and tightening up your game, tightening up, and then reintroducing that newfound person to the world. So your true self, so when I say your true self, all you guys have been in situations with different women where you fumbled the situation. And then you look back on it and be like, damn, if I would have did this differently, if I would have did that differently, if I wasn't so fucking scared and I would have just did this, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about you digging, finding that person that can have retrospective and be like, damn, if I would have acted like this, did this, shit would have been better for me. So we're trying to get you to find that person and not be on some hindsight 2020 shit, and you introduce that person to these women you deal with.
Right.
You got it, Miles.
I want to just say real quick to Jedi James. He says his question is, Miles, I don't have IG. How do I do a phone session? Yeah, the link to the phone sessions are also in every one of my YouTube videos, Jedi James. So you could also get it at the go to any one of my YouTube videos and check the link is in the description. All right, the link is in the description. And I also want to talk about, introducing your true self. The thing, having faith in who we are, believing in ourselves it's not even to say that, we don't care about what other people think, right? It's just that we care a lot more about what we think about ourselves.
Facts.
You understand? And that's a big part about it, being truly who you are, where the only thing that's truly important to you is how you see yourself and how you view yourself. And the thing is, when you're focused on that, like when you're busy looking at yourself and saying, all right, well, how do I want to be? What things do I want to improve? How do I want to dress? How, like, my style, my mouthpiece, my charm, my sense of humor. When you're doing that, it's like, truthfully, if you think about the complexity of being a human, if you're truly focused on yourself, you ain't got no time to be worried about what these other motherfuckers think. Truthfully, you understand what I'm saying? Like, because everything you ain't never gonna get to perfection. Let's be clear. It's always gonna be more money to be made. You could always be more stylish. Your physique could always look a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? You could always floss and brush your teeth a little bit more. You could always, you know what I'm saying? You could always get a fresher haircut. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Everything is always advancing. Everything is always moving. So for you to really be spending time worried about what other people think of you, that's holding a lot of dudes back. I know that for a fact. You understand what I'm saying? That's holding too many dudes back.
No, and I agree. My thing is this, and as you alluded to, your opinion of yourself should be the strongest.
Right.
And my thing is this: I can say something to a woman, and I know I'm right and exact with what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And my intent is not to be disrespectful. My intent is not to be malicious in any way. Now, she can misinterpret what I say and she can take it as such. But for me, even if she was offended, I'm not going to be concerned with her being offended, because I knew that my energy was true. Like, hey, I'm just letting you know what it is, what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. If for whatever reason you got an issue with it, that means you got an issue with me. Okay. And that's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you tell somebody something and they don't ask for clarification, they just choose to misinterpret it however they choose to misinterpret it, and they get angry with you. That's just you. That's just how you took it. So for me, one thing I can never, and to a fault, I'm like this to a fault. I don't like explaining myself to people. I just say what the fuck I say, and how you take it, how the fuck you take it. But unfortunately, when you're dealing with people, that can become an issue, depending on what you're trying to do. You know, if you're trying to do business, that's not the good attitude to have. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to have this attitude with these women, in the grand scheme of things, they don't really mean shit in your life anyway. But with business, you can't have that attitude of, that's what the fuck I said, take it how you want to take it. And you know you lost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars because of that cavalier attitude. So that's one thing that I had to learn, because I was like that to a fault. Like, I just didn't give a fuck how nobody took it. You know what I'm saying? But that's part of growth, maturity, and just evolution as a man and shit. By the way, gentlemen, the call line is open. Area code 516-387-1224. And if y'all haven't noticed, YouTube demonetized my channel again. Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm trying to figure out. I ain't made no videos recently that was on some fuckery, so I don't know what the fuck they doing.
Nah, I'm telling you, you know what it might be? It might be the Real Game No Theory show. 12 noon Eastern time, guys. Check us out. But I'll be honest, my shit got demonetized after the Real Game No Theory show.
It could be that. But my thing is, one thing I'm not trying to do is water down my message. You know what I'm saying? I got to stay true to myself. You know, I don't mind cutting down on some of the curse words here and there. Yeah. So that way, my message doesn't get lost in translation. But I'm not just going to completely turn around and just do some opposite shit just so I can have commercials play on my shit. Fuck you too. Anyway, they're gonna be mad at that shit. But anyway, real quick, the phone lines is open, gentlemen. Again, we're talking about how to overcome being an introvert, introducing yourself introducing your true self to the world. Let me just say this real quick. I had my epiphany moment when I was about 16, 17. Okay, hold on real quick. I saw something.
Nah, that's just some,
okay.
That's just for you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So I had my epiphany moment when I was 16, 17. And for those of you who rock me long enough, I already told this story once or twice, but I tell it again because it goes with the title. One thing I never had a problem with as a teenager, throughout my 20s, and even in my 30s and beyond, I never had a problem attracting women. I never had a problem with women being interested in me. I never had that problem. The problem that I had was when they would come my way with it, I would always fumble the situation because I was so shy, I wouldn't even kiss the chicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about being 16, 17, still being fucking shy. I wouldn't kiss the chicks. I wouldn't try to hold their hands. None of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I would talk to them, but I would be very careful with what I said because I was worried about saying something that might make me look stupid. I wasn't worried about offending nobody. I was just worried about saying something that might make me look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because we, as teenage boys, we want to be cool, suave. We want to be all that type of shit. And when you try and put this mask on and have this facade of who you really are, you tend to overthink shit and you tend to not be true to yourself. And if you're not true to yourself, then the people you're dealing with don't get to see who the fuck you are. So what happened was, because I moved to San Antonio when I was 15, 16, 17, I'm playing football. These two dudes I hung out with, they was always getting pussy. They were best friends, but they invited me to their little clique or whatever. They was always getting some ass. And they would always tell these stories about these parties they would go to, and they'd be fucking chicks. And I'm like, damn, I want them type of stories. I want to tell them stories myself. I want to do that type of shit. And then one day after a football game, we went to a party. It was a rival school party. And we went to their party, and I met this chick there. And we ended up having sex. Like, it was my first time having sex. We ended up having sex like a week later. And, I didn't take her out. We didn't go to the movie. I didn't do none of that shit. So for me, my first sexual experience was a casual sex experience. It wasn't a relationship. So I started out the gate with that mindset. And of course, when I had sex with her, she was a teenage mom, oddly enough. But yeah, she was a teenage mom. But she didn't know that it was my first time having sex. I didn't tell her, right? But I thought she would know, you know what I'm saying? Because I had another chick I was dealing with that was a little more experienced, a little more promiscuous. So she knew that even though I didn't tell her that I hadn't had sex, she could tell by my mannerisms and how I interacted with her. One day she just looked at me and be like, "You hadn't had sex yet, have you?" And I'm like, "What you talking about?" So, but after that, this was a Korean chick. After she realized I hadn't had sex before, she started treating me like a buster, bro. At first, she was all into me, but the moment she realized I'm about to be his first, she flipped the switch. and tried to treat me like a buster after that shit. But what she didn't know is I was still gamed up in the sense, I know what you're doing, bitch. I'm done with you, right? So the chick, back to the chick I had sex with for the first time. So we had sex a handful of times. And then one day I said, I'm going to tell her she was my first and see what she say. I said, I know she ain't going to believe me because I've been tearing that shit the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So now real quick, for you guys that be watching a lot of porn, that shit do help. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched a lot of fucking porn before that. So all I did was just tune into my photographic memory and just went to work on that type of shit. But when I told her you were my first, she was like, no, you're lying. You're lying. I'm like, oh, for real, for real. And I finally convinced her. But after a while, I'm like, I don't want to have sex with just this one chick. Damn. Because I realized, you know, I could please a woman. I can do that and have her acting like this. I got to do this to some more bitches. You know what I'm saying? So I became a beast. And then those two dudes I was telling you about, I started sharing pussy with them. Like I would get chicks and be like, yo, man, I got this chick. I think she down. So I just became a monster with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why my mindset is the way it is now. And it's always been that way, man. But gentlemen, how I overcame my shit was I just got tired of being on the sidelines, seeing dudes getting at it and hearing dudes tell all these fucking stories. And I wanted stories on my own to tell. So I created an environment where I can make that happen.
Facts. Man.
You need to call me a pervert.
You out here turning these hoes out in the street. It's terrible. Man. But I mean, if I say I had an epiphany moment, man, I mean, my epiphany moment to me was pretty much, I guess, the first time I had sex, really.
Yeah.
You know, and see, for me, sex and all of that stuff was like the story of the Wizard of Oz, where I pulled back the curtain and found out that it was really just a regular ass nigga talking into a microphone.
There you go.
You understand? And it wasn't nothing mystical. It wasn't nothing beautiful. It didn't change me. Like I didn't like my hair didn't go from black to blonde like Super Saiyans or nothing. Like nothing happened. You understand? Because bro, I had the crazy expectations for sex, bro. Like I literally thought like I was gonna, you know, have firsthand access into the Garden of Eden. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I had crazy expectations of sex, bro. Like you don't understand because, you know, another thing is too, like I was one of them dudes. I had both parents in the household, and my parents was really romantic and
got you.
And then I was influenced more by my mother. So my mom would always tell me about stuff that my dad did for her, and I would see certain things, and we would go out to dinner and as a family, and my dad would do shit and whatever. Yeah. So I kind of got that type of perspective. Plus, at the time I'm growing up, I'm watching, you know, Disney and Little House on the Prairie, and you know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at all of this dumb shit. I'm into Disney movies and all this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking sex is like wow, you know?
Like special and shit.
Yeah, but the chick I lost my virginity to was she left a lot to be desired, bro. And I'm like, this is what sex is? Like this, like that's it?
You realize it ain't shit.
Yeah, I realized it wasn't shit. And from that point on, it was just like, man, I mean, it still took a while for me to fully develop my game, but I never really took chicks that seriously. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I never took sex that seriously. And I really think like just me being who I am, like I think that's a part of the reason why I take my time with chicks. You understand what I'm saying? Like I really take my time with chicks. So it's like a chick got to earn certain things from me. Like we got to, you know what I'm saying? I got to see what's going on. Like that's why I'm a little different. Like that's why I like to go out on drink dates just to feel a chick out, because a nigga like me, bro, I can't fuck every chick, bro. I don't care how she look. No, it's certain chicks that I can't fuck. My dick won't get, she could look good, but my dick won't get hard type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of how it's been with me. So as far as like, you know, dealing with chicks and rejection and all of this other shit, like, you know, it has an effect, but it didn't affect me that deeply. Like, you know how some dudes, they get rejected and it's like, oh man, you know, fuck these hoes. And they get that resentment and that, you know, I guess most guys would call red pill rage and all that other shit.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's like there was something, I don't know if it's because I'm Jamaican. I don't know if it's because, you know, I just come from a family of like my extended family, especially on my dad's side. like we're super proud of everything. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always felt like that metaphor of, you know, having a suitcase with $1 million and walking around asking people if they wanted it. That's how I always felt. You feel me? So when I would talk to girls and then they would act like they wasn't feeling me or whatever the fuck, I just I was disappointed, but I was never like beaten down, or I never wanted to lock myself in a room and hold on to this introvert thing or any of that type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? I always felt like I had something to offer, but I wanted to make sure I found a decent chick who at least deserved it type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Well, when I was in high school, I ain't had shit to offer. I knew I wasn't shit. I knew I wasn't shit. And to be honest with you, prior to me having sex for the first time, I was the type of teenager where if I was talking to a chick, like we didn't even have to be girlfriend and boyfriend. If I was talking to a chick and we was kind of, you know, dealing with each other, I didn't deal with no other chicks. I just focused on that one. But when I had sex for the first time, I was like, there's no way. There's no way I could deal with one after this shit. So that literally changed me forever. So this dude asked me this question. Zach, where did you learn the sex game when it was your first time? I mean, I was in high school where I wasn't polished. I was not a great lover in high school. You gotta remember,
it's the porn, like you said.
Yeah, it was not only that, but I jacked off so much before that when I first ejaculated from having sex, I wasn't like most guys. Most guys, oh shit, oh, what's that? No, to me, it was like a normal thing. I just used a woman to help me do it this time. But so to me, it wasn't. And plus, I had jacked off so much, I didn't nut quick. It took me a minute to nut.
Right.
So I'm beating it up for a while.
Yeah.
So you know, she getting hers in, and of course, bear in mind, it's my first time having sex. I don't know what to expect. Right. Outside of just the porn. So I'm just, my mindset is, let's do what they do on the porn. Just do what they do on the porn. And it worked for her. You know what I'm saying? But as you deal with more and more chicks, the more experienced women are, it might not fly for them. You know what I'm saying? As it did a chick who, even though she was a teenage mom, she didn't come across as a woman who was very experienced sexually. Now, I didn't know how many partners she had, how much sex she had. I didn't know none of that. But after I started having sex with more and more chicks, I could tell who been fucking. You know what I'm saying? But one thing, this is when I realized that women wasn't shit. Okay? when it came to sex. I met this one chick. Now, keep in mind, we're in high school. And back then, I was a track dude and a football dude. And she just approached me. And she introduced herself to me. And she told me, she said, I'm a virgin. And she told me she was the first. She just came out and told me she was a virgin. I'm like, okay. I'm looking at her like, what the fuck she telling me this shit? And she says, I want you to take my virginity. And I'm like, word?
Nice.
Never met this girl, right? And what it was, she was on that jock shit. You know what I'm saying? So what ended up happening was about 2 weeks later, I took her to one of my partner's house. Now, keep in mind, this was a young lady, never met her. The time she came up to me, we talked like one or two other times in school. But we never talked on the phone outside of school, and we never dealt with each other outside of school. So 2 weeks after she came up to me and said that, we and my motherfucking friends sleeper sofa, and I'm about to take her virginity after 2 weeks of knowing her without all of that talking shit. So to me, that's when I knew, I'm like, these chicks don't give a fuck about their virginity and shit. How the fuck she don't come up to me and shit and just offer me the pussy and shit? And I knew she was a virgin, gentlemen, because I tried to take it. And if you've ever had sex or tried to have sex with a virgin, you know the difference.
You know the difference.
There is, you can't mistake what it's like to try and take a woman's virginity. It's very obvious that she was a virgin and shit.
Yeah.
All that goddamn screaming and shit. But I wasn't even there. I'm like this, and she's doing all that fucking screaming and shit. But anyway, my point is that's when I knew, I'm like, these chicks don't give a fuck about David. They don't. Now, some chicks might have still had that Disney thing where they think sex is so, oh, my body is a temple and I'm waiting for the perfect guy. But that chick, it wasn't special to her.
Right.
She didn't give a fuck about being in love and she just wanted somebody that she was attracted to take her shit. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So, gentlemen, now, lucky for me, let me just say this. A lot of my shit, I saw a lot of shit at a young age, not because I was gamed up. I was just lucky that I saw a lot of shit very early on. So it prepared me. Like, I saw one of my brothers, well, I saw both my brothers do some fucked up shit behind chicks. I saw dudes crying in the middle of the bathroom floor in the fetal position, crying over chicks. There were chicks that were hot for me, to my twin brother, then my other brother. So I had already experienced like multiple chicks taking turns with all the brothers before I even had sex for the first time. So I already knew, I'm like, damn, these chicks ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So I already knew from practically about the age of, I think, 12. That's when I saw my first train. I was 12 when I saw my first train. And then after that, I participated in some, in high school, but I also saw a lot of chicks that was getting just ran through by dudes at 12, 13, 14, 15. Even though I wasn't necessarily having sex, I'm a witness to all this shit. And I'm like, damn, these chicks don't give a fuck about sex. It ain't shit to them.
It ain't nothing.
So, exactly. So now for some chicks, again, it may be. It might be. But for me, I felt like the average chick don't take sex as seriously as most guys think they do.
Yeah, quick question, and this is just whatever, but
yeah.
Were y'all using condoms at this time? Like, I'm just wondering.
In high school, no.
Nah, right?
I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna front.
We got a call if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Well, no, with the train shit, yes. But when I'm doing my regular shit, no. But I can't lie on that shit.
with the train shit, yes.
Yeah, when we was tag teaming chicks, most definitely. But if I was just on my own, just doing some regular shit, no, I was raw dogging it in high school. Yeah, gentlemen, because when I got older, I stopped doing that shit.
Bruh, condoms? I stayed with condoms, nigga. You crazy? I wasn't trusting none of you.
Bro, I was foolish, bro. I was a dumbass. That's probably a better way to put it.
Oh, man. All right, let me see. 240, you're online with Kay Zaggett and Miles Cunningham. What's up?
What's up? 50 Fitzwell in the house.
Oh, what's up, man? 50 Fitzwell. What's up with your old man? How you doing?
Niggas sound like you just woke up.
You know it, baby. I'm one of the seniors. I'm one of the trustees, if you will.
You alumni? You alumni to the game?
I'm sorry?
You alumni to Game University?
Yes, I am. I am an alum. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Hit that button.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say a couple things. Number one, man, like the first this is going. I know Kay Zag got some jokes for this one. First time I had sex, man, it put me in the hospital. I had surgery.
What?
Yeah,
I'm already laughing. Nigga, laughing.
No, I bullshit you not. Yo, in 1973, I was 12 years old, had sex. I wound up with something called a torsion of the left testicle. My testicle actually twisted. Yeah, across your leg.
Nigga, what the fuck?
No, bro. I actually know a guy. I know a guy. He was doing squats. He was doing squats in the gym. We was in high school. And both his testicles twisted around each other. He was just doing squats and he just collapsed screaming. So I heard of that happening. But go ahead and tell us the story, though.
That shit is real.
How the fuck that happened, dog?
My left nut twisted. It twisted. It took about 2 days, and my mother said, "No, I'm taking the hospital." First, she took me to the doctor. This little Russian lady. She goes, "Oh no, you have to take him to the hospital." 9:30, she took me to the hospital. 12:30, I was on a surgery table. They was opening up my nuts, man. Yo. This was back in 1973.
Stop.
But
playing.
What happened was, let me tell you, this is the mentality. This is what happened. Back in the day, parents used to tell us shit to scare us, not to get these little girls pregnant. So my thing, I was fucking this first time I had sex, fucking this girl. She was about 18, a little special in the head, but she was a body. And
this nigga fucking with the slow chicks. What's wrong with you, dog? What you doing?
Man, shut up, man.
You fucking with the special needs kids, man.
No, wait. No wonder your nuts got twisted, nigga.
That was some karma. That was some karma.
She like 50. You think I'm sexy?
Go ahead, Bob. I was gonna come, and I stopped, and I pulled out, and I said, "Okay, I gotta go." I ran downstairs, and I was trying to pee, which fucked up my system, which made the shit back up in my nut.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, because if you're 12, you're not gonna know to release that shit. Damn.
I'm sorry?
I said at 12, you're not gonna know what you're doing with that.
I'm gonna tell you what my mind was. I was afraid my nut was gonna come out my dick, and run back up the stairs and jump in her pussy because they had me fucked up over that shit so much. That's where my mind was. So fast forward 5 years, 10 years later, 7 years later, I'm in the Navy. I ain't got no, and I was smashing through high school, but when I got in the Navy, my epiphany moment was when I was fucking this one chick. I had to take her back to the base and fucked another one. And the first one was like, I want more. And I was like, no, I got to take you back. I got to take you back. And I ain't gonna get in trouble. And that told me right there, this is how you treat them. You get them, put them out. Get them, put them out. And when I went back to the base and put one out, this other one I saw, I said, what you doing? Oh, no, I'm just drunk. Get in the car, took her home, mashed her too, and took her back home. I was like, that's all it is. And I was in the Navy. I was in Orlando where the women went to boot camp. I was a hospital corpsman, and I was working in a podiatry clinic. So some of these country bumpkins that never wore shoes was coming through there. I was making dates like this, like that, like this. Even the fucking officer I was working for was like, he pulled me aside. He said, yo, man, be careful. It's no fraternizing. I said, I know. And I kept knocking them out. When I had that epiphany, like, that's the way you treat them. And then it got easier from there. And I had to beat them off with me in Okinawa. That was crazy, man. So,
when you go to them foreign countries and you're in the military, man, you got to be careful, though. A lot of them want that green card, though. That's what they really want.
Yeah. But, this is back in the 80s, and a lot of the guys, they were doing that, but they never, I never wanted to bring a foreign chick home. I wanted to always get a chick from the hood. That was just me. I grew up in the projects, always wanted a project chick. But, I had fun.
You can keep them all. I don't want nothing to do with no project chick. You can keep them. Now, I said you can keep them project chick. Now, for me, I like, let me say this because that's not entirely true. I like project chicks that are honor roll students that go to private school and shit. You know what I'm saying? Those type of chicks I fuck with. You know what I'm saying? But the public school private chicks, I ain't want them. I want the private school ones.
You want little Kim with a degree, JK.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I wanted. That's what I want to fuck. But just a regular hood chick that was on the block that acted like a nigga. Nah, keep all them. I wanted the smart one where her mom wouldn't let her hang out. You know what I'm saying? I want that chick. Fuck the bullshit.
I don't know. I wanted that chick to do rock climbing with me. I just wanted that for some reason. Like them tomboys, got a good crossover. That's the motherfucker. I don't know. Them the bitches I wanted when I was younger. I just wanted them tomboy type of stuff. Because when it came time to fuck, it was like, yeah, come on, let's do it. No problem. No fucking resistance. Boom, bang. Okay, I'll see you later. And they was gone.
All right, that's what's up.
But
you right about the military, because I was in the Army, and when I got to the Army, all the shit I was doing in high school, it was a continuation times 2. You know what I'm saying? Because they was coming, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They was coming. So it was, and I was on Fort Sam Houston, which is medical shit. So there was 7 chicks for every one guy.
That's the last
all them nurses, bro. Oh my God, bro. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks and shit. I'm having flashbacks. Because you gotta understand, I'm coming back home. So I know the area and shit. I know all the spots. Some of my niggas are still here. But I very rarely left Fort Sam Houston. I stayed on Fort Sam Houston for like almost a year before I even left the base because there was so many women. I'm like, I ain't even gotta leave. I can just walk around and shit and just pick chicks up. And I'm like, bro. So he right. You can just pick them up like that. Pick them off like that. So the shit was super easy.
Like that. Well, look, brothers, I'm moving back to DC. I'm in Charlotte. I'm moving back to DC to open up another business. But I'm still with y'all. Get my shit together, get some more cash so I can get on your programs and start knocking them out. I'll flash my AARP card. Maybe that'll get me in. All right, y'all. All
right, peace.
You're a fool. All right, peace, brother.
Yo, this nigga, he going back to DC. Yo, DC U Street. Oh man, I love DC. DC is
last time I've been to DC. I think it was in 05 and shit. I used to live in DC as a kid and shit, but 05 was the last time I've been. But no, it's dope. Now when I went, I was downtown DC and there was a bunch of fucking Puerto Ricans, bro. I didn't know there was so many Puerto Ricans in DC. At least when I was there in 05.
It's a lot of Africans there now.
Okay.
It's a lot of Africans there.
They got a question for you, bro.
Yeah, Iceberg S says, Miles, what's the origin story of women ain't shit and they know it? There's no origin story. It's things that I've experienced through my life in general. Like, it's women doing things that let me know that what they really looking for is the leadership is a man's leadership. You understand? When you leave women to their own devices, they make a lot of reckless moves. You understand? So it's and when I look, there's a lot of chicks that I dealt with. They do reckless shit. Like I fucked with this Dominican broad for a while, and she was hella reckless, like stupid reckless. I mean, the pussy was good, sex was good, and she was a cool chick personally, but just reckless decision making. Like you know them chicks that you fucking with that she every time she see you, she want you to be her man.
Mm-hmm.
And you let her know that's not what this is.
Oh yeah, oh plenty of them, yeah, no doubt.
Now, mind you, I was fucking with her for a couple of months, but I always had to remind her, listen, that's not what this is. Like, we not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because these chicks are reckless. And like I said, other chicks that I've, went out on dates, been with, had sex with, like, my time in Florida, like, chicks just be doing reckless ass shit. And then it's like, and again, understanding that women ain't shit and they know it, it's not to put women down. A lot of you niggas think that I say that shit to put women down. No. The statement women know they ain't shit is the start of a very long and complex conversation. Let's not get it twisted, because ain't nothing wrong with women. And I don't say those things to put women down. I say those things to remind men that it's your leadership that they seek. And for you to stop letting women make decisions within whatever situation you got going on with the woman. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm really talking about. But a lot of cats, you got to explain that shit to them. But yeah, there's no single origin story to that. It's literally everything I've experienced dealing with women in general. It made me come to realize that in a lot of ways, women know that. Like Lucario said some shit the other day that was dope. He was like, women know that men are better than them. You understand? And it's sort of the same idea where a woman looks at herself and she's like, well, I know I ain't shit. So why would he let me make decisions? And so when you let a woman make decisions, that's when that level of disrespect and mistrust starts to go in. Because she's like, I'm the woman, you're the man. Why am I making the decisions? You understand? I already know I ain't shit. What's wrong with you? You understand?
Also, Miles, you know what's so funny? A lot of these guys that offer these extravagant dates, women are thinking to themselves, why would he offer this? Does he not know that I ain't shit? And he gonna offer me this shit?
Right.
Now they'll take the date, but in the back of their mind, they're like, what the fuck is he doing?
What is he doing?
And what we're talking about, and I agree with Miles, I don't have no problem with women like that. So when I say they ain't shit, what I'm saying is they're not as special as you've been led to believe.
Right.
A lot of guys think women are special because they're women. If a woman's going to be special to you, it's because she brings an added value to your life that most women you meet don't bring. So she stands out in that regard. Right. But just as a woman, like women walking down the street, just a standalone woman you don't know, ain't none of them fucking special. Now they can think they're special, and they might be special to their moms, to whoever they with. But for me, I don't fucking know you. So I'm not going to put that special label on you. I'm not going to say you're a quality woman yet. I'm not going to say you are a woman of value yet, because I don't know you. I don't give a fuck if you're beautiful, if you got a PhD, a doctorate, I don't give a fuck what you got going on as a woman. Unless that shit benefits me, then it don't mean shit to me.
It really doesn't matter, right?
And that's all it means.
Facts. All right, what is all about the Benjamins talking about? He says, do y'all come from a line of players in the family, or did y'all struggle a lot before you made it in the game? All right, you want to answer that?
I'll answer that first. I would say, because my parents are from, we're all from the South, but most of my family live in Mississippi, Alabama, and especially St. Louis. Both my parents grew up, they weren't necessarily born, but they were definitely raised in St. Louis. So my uncles on both sides, they were all players. And I witnessed that shit because my father was in the military. So every summer, not every summer, but when we would move, like every 2, 3, 4 years, we would move to a new place. During that time, during that summer before the school year started, we would always go back to the Lou and just spend the summer in the Lou. So I had an uncle that lived in the attic with my grandmother on my mama's side. And that motherfucker stayed with females. So I would watch him. I would study him. And I'm like, what, 12, 13, 14, shit like that. But I would study and watch him. And then I would learn, different mannerisms and shit. And that shit didn't really help me out until later. Because you got to remember, I was a shy dude. I was very, very shy. I didn't know how to talk to chicks. I had no problem with chicks coming up to me, introducing themselves to me and wanting to fuck with me. I just didn't know how to carry the shit. And I didn't talk to chicks. Like, chicks would invite me to their house, and I would just sit on their bed and just look and stare off into the distance. I would do this shit. And I'm like, I was living in England at the time. And I'm 14, 15 years old doing this goofy shit, just sitting there. I'm like, you don't talk, do you? And I'm like, I ain't got nothing to say. Ask me a question, I'll answer it. That was my shit right there. That's how bad I was. So imagine how bad I was. And then I flipped that switch at the age of 17, just a couple years later. But that's how horrible. I would just be sitting on a chick bed. And there'll be no grown-ups in the house. I'm just sitting on the bed like this. When I was in England, I was fucking with them British chicks, but I wasn't fucking them. I was just fucking with them. But I'm just sitting on the bed. On that type of goofy shit. That's why I say, but that's not introvert shit. That's like an awkward shyness type of shit. And I was on that.
Right. Well, as for me, the truth for me is yes. I do come from a long line of players on both sides of my family. On my mother's side, nigga, all of my uncles, every last one of my uncles had multiple kids all around the island of Jamaica. You understand? Like none of my uncles, honestly, have less than 4 baby mothers.
You got a big ass family, dog.
Bro, I got cousins I don't know. Like, I'm serious. I got cousins I have no idea. My uncles on my mother's side alone, them niggas could literally walk through any neighborhood in Jamaica and there's at least a 30% possibility that they staring at their child and don't know. Because none of these niggas use condoms, first of all. You understand what I'm saying? And they always nut up in a woman. They're not pulling out or trying to not get a bitch pregnant. Niggas in Jamaica, bro, they don't think about shit the same way. You understand? Because you can't really starve on a tropical island because there's always fruit growing on the tree. So you're not gonna, nobody's gonna die. You understand? It's not like America. So niggas in Jamaica, they beating shit down. So I got all of my uncles was players, all had multiple baby moms. My dad, I got half brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? My dad had another baby mom before my mother. You understand? And all of my uncles on my dad's side too. All of my uncles on my dad's side, except for, well, my first uncle on my dad's side, he had like 4 baby moms. And then all the rest of my uncles, they kind of grew up in like the new age. But they all of them had bitches. All of them had bitches. But I say that to say that even knowing all of that, I was see the problem with me is even though all of my uncles was on it like that, I was still predominantly raised by my mother. You understand? So my mother always put shit in my face to be a gentleman, be a good guy, be nice to women, did this, that, and the third.
That wasn't my mama.
And my dad, God bless my dad, he was in the house. But my dad is the type of nigga, you go to work, bring home the money, and then he over there. Either smoking his weed or reading the Bible or watching, soccer or watching the Knicks or some shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? But he never took the time to really impart any game to me. You understand? I started learning game when I actually met up with cats like Lucario, and that's around age 16, 17. You understand? Around the time that I lost my virginity at 17 or 17, I lost my virginity at 17. And then within that time was like the discovery of actually dealing with women. And then I was able to go back to Jamaica to visit my uncle. And when I went back to visit, he had a brand new baby moms and a new baby girl on the way, a new baby girl and a baby girl on the way.
He been busy.
What? My uncle is always busy. What? And y'all niggas talk about that height shit. My uncle is one of the shortest niggas in Jamaica because my uncle is shorter than me and he's bow-legged.
That nigga Jamaica slinging dick like bean pies out this bitch.
What? So I went back at an older age, and at that time, that's when I was able to really like ask him questions about dealing with chicks. And he let me know, like, don't ever listen to women. Whatever you want to do is what needs to be done. Don't think about women going to talk all the fucking time because they feel this and don't do what the fuck you doing and deal. But this is one thing that my dad told me and my uncle told me. My dad told me one thing. He said, always make sure that whatever woman you dealing with love you more than you love them.
See, I'm on that. That's my motto too. Yes.
That's the one thing that my dad really ever put me up on game. And then, like I said, when I was older, after I lost my virginity and I went back to visit my uncle, I was like maybe like 20, 21, and I was chopping it up with him. He told me the same damn thing. Now, I articulated a little bit more to say that you can love a woman, but to me, it's like you can love a woman, but just don't be in love.
Facts.
Right? Meaning that you're not letting love cloud your decision making when it comes to the woman. You understand? So that's how I took that piece of game that I got from my father and my uncle. And then from there, it was just me, like I said, I did music with Lucario. We've been business partners for years, and we just been, cruising through life and dealing with chicks and getting into, different situations or whatever. So I kind of learned game through that. You understand what I'm saying? And then always having those conversations, because truthfully, I'll be honest with y'all. You have to understand that a lot of this just came out of the conversations that I would naturally have with Lucario. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we would have these fucking conversations, and then we started doing Blog Talk Radio and just literally having the same conversations we had about chicks. We would just have them on Blog Talk Radio. You understand? Until we went, we got to do the radio thing, and then YouTube came out, and then we got on YouTube and so on and so forth. But it was really just the similar conversations that we always had about game, until we matured, grew older, and really, like the title says, we really introduced our true selves to the world. Because when you find a space in life where you're totally accepting of who you are, at that point, when you meet a woman, it don't mean nothing for you to tell her exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. And if she's not with it, get the fuck out of here. It's more bitches. I told her, I had a client the other day on a consultation, right? And I was giving him a metaphor for rejection. And I said to him, have you ever been invited to a party and you decided not to go? And he was like, yeah, that happened before. Everybody, right? Zag, I'm sure you've been invited to a party and you didn't go, right? So think about this. It's when you hollering at a chick, it's like you're inviting her to a party and she decided not to go. Now, the question is, since you decided not to go, did the party not happen? Did everybody go back and be like, oh, well, Miles said he ain't coming, so let's not have the party? No.
Everything continues.
The party still happened. And then you might see somebody next week who went to the party. You'd be like, yo, how was that party? I ain't bothered to go. I had something to do, whatever. Oh, nigga, you should have came. That shit was lit. It was bad. The DJ was mixing and the bitches was bad and blah, 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 blah. You understand what I'm saying? So if you look at rejection that way, it's like it really has nothing to do with the party, meaning it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the person and whatever reason they have for not going to the party. So when you holler at a chick and she says, oh, well, I'm not interested, or I have a boyfriend, or whatever the hell she says, right? She's deciding not to go to the party. But does that mean there's something wrong with the party, or is that the party going to be any less fun? No. You understand? So it's like we have to realize that rejection and all of that dumb shit that niggas worry about don't have nothing to do with you, because everybody has their reason why they're gonna not go to the party, or they're gonna reject the invitation to the party. But that don't mean that there's anything wrong with the party. It don't mean that anybody at the party is gonna have any less fun because you decided not to go. So it's the same thing with the bitches. It's like, I'm the party. I'm giving you an invitation to my party. You decide not to go, that's all good. The party's gonna go down anyway. You understand what I'm saying? And when you get out of that space and you start to introduce your true self to the world, that's how you look at yourself. You look at yourself as a fly party, so to speak. You look at yourself as something valuable. Why? Because you're comfortable with who you are. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to hold on to any crutches and talk about why you're not approaching women, or why you're not doing this, or why you're not doing that. You understand? Because look, again, The definition says that it's a person that just feels more comfortable focusing on their inner thoughts and ideas. They feel more comfortable, but that doesn't mean that you're uncomfortable dealing with, talking to other people and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So the thing is, if you truly have social awkwardness, you might want to like get therapy and talk to people.
Yeah.
So go talk to somebody, because a lot of y'all I have social anxiety. I'm socially awkward and shit. If it's really, really that bad, don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm an introvert. Nah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that because you give an introvert a bad name. Because introverts, again, they understand self-awareness and self-understanding. Okay, they spend a lot of time just thinking about shit and just self-improving to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys who are socially awkward, they don't do that. They just sit home and complain. A lot of incels or guys who are socially awkward guys, they don't understand social norms because they're not sociable. They don't socialize with people. You have to get out there. Now, I understand not everybody's going to be the bar type. Not everybody's going to be the club type. Not everyone's going to be the frat party or that type of shit type. But there's some places you can go to put yourself around people where you can learn to socialize. And let me just say this about rejection. This is how I look at rejection. Damn, I guess she's having a bad day. That's how I look at it. She must be having a bad day. Because any chick that don't want me, she either something wrong with her or she just had a bad day. Maybe she got fired today. Maybe something happened and she don't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
That's how I look at it. I never ever assumed a woman rejected me because I wasn't tall enough or because I wasn't muscular enough or because of whatever reason women could reject motherfuckers for that got guys in their feelings. I never assumed any one of those things about me. You know what I'm saying? I just assumed she must be having a bad day. Even when the chick said, I got a boyfriend. I just assumed she had a bad day simply because I've met chicks that told me they had a boyfriend, but they didn't tell me they had a boyfriend to get me to leave them alone. They told me they had a boyfriend on some, we can fuck as long as you know I got a man. Yeah, exactly. We can do it. So it was like wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you got a man? Cool. I'm not trying to upset that. Look, whenever you need to change your pace, you know what I'm saying? Come holler at me. Right. So to me, when I ran into chicks who said I got a man, I just assumed they was having a bad day because they would have told me the same thing that she told me. I got a man, but we can still do the damn thing. So now, realistically, the women could have rejected me for maybe I wasn't tall enough. Maybe I was too dark, whatever reason. But I think a lot of guys, because they're so insecure and they have low self-esteem, they walk away from the interaction and they be thinking about, was it this? Was it that? Was it this? Did my breath stink? Or, my shoes, I don't got on name brand shit. I'm wearing Walmart shit. Maybe if I would have had on some Dolce & Gabbana or some whatever, maybe. No, to me, I don't think about none of that shit. Once a woman tells me she's not interested, I always smile. I always smile at her. I smile at them. All right, girl. Well, you have a good one. And I walk off with a smile.
That's
because my pride isn't wounded. Okay, it ain't no different than if a bad bitch, you just walk up to a bad bitch, like the chick you really want, like that's your physical type, and you holler at her, and not only is she with it, but she's super excited, like she really own it. Now on the inside, you could be like, oh hell yeah, you could be happy, but on the outside, be like, all right, that's what's up. All right, well look, I'm gonna talk to you. Give me a call, all right. But on the inside, you doing jumping jacks, you doing push-ups and shit. You excited, and it's okay.
Right.
But on the outside, you never get up here.
Right.
You never get there. You're supposed to be like this. Because that's how men even kill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being excited. I was excited plenty of times in my life. Like, God damn, I can't wait to tack this one. But,
Somebody had
what time?
36.
6:36?
Yeah. It says, Cliff Hector, he says, how do you get over being... Yeah.
And put a Q in the joint, everybody, so that way we can identify the questions a little more easily.
Put a Q, man, for real.
Oh, you want to go ahead and get that one?
How do you get over being socially awkward recluse? Well, that's what I'm saying. You might have to go talk to somebody, man. You might have to go talk, because look, there's a difference between having, a little bit of nervousness or anxiety before you talk to a stranger. You understand? I mean, I get it. A person before you say hello to a person, they are a stranger. You understand? And if you have a little bit of discomfort or nervousness when it comes to speaking to people you don't know, that's one thing. But that's totally separate from being a socially awkward recluse. You understand? Cliff Hector, I want you to be clear in what you're saying. Are you saying you have a little bit of anxiety to talk to people you don't know? Or are you saying that you the type of motherfucker that you have a phobia of speaking to people, so you lock yourself indoors? That's what a recluse is. You understand? A recluse is a person that locks themselves indoors. They want to be inside because they have real issues with going outside. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and let me add this. I want guys to understand when we talk about socially awkward. Okay, we're talking about, and these are signs you may be socially awkward: intense feelings of anxiety and fear in social situations. You're actually scared. Right?
It's like a phobia. Mm-hmm.
It's a phobia. Okay. Failure to recognize and understand social norms. When part of that is when you're talking to a woman, you can tell by her body language and how she responds to you if she's not interested. Okay. You have guys that can't tell because the woman hasn't walked away. They're still trying to talk. Right. Yeah. That frequently being avoided or ridiculed by others. That means there's something about you that's awkward to people. And they don't like you around them because you're awkward and you're funny acting. Right. All right. Lack of meaningful connections with others. You just don't connect with people overall, right? A lot of you motherfuckers, you young motherfuckers, where all your friends are online gamers, like you don't have friends in real life that you kick it with. A lot of y'all might fall into that category. Also, failure to have a natural flow during the conversation. Part of having a natural flow is being so sure of yourself, right? that in any given topic, whether it's religion, political shit, sex, relationships, any topic of conversation that you're engaging in, whether it's with a woman or with other people, you can naturally just be present in the moment and flow with the shit. Okay, when you act like you can't participate in the conversation, you're probably nervous that you're gonna say something goofy, or you're worried about offending somebody, which you shouldn't be worried about offending. Miles said it earlier. They're strangers. Why do you give a fuck about a stranger's opinion? Okay, these women y'all meet. They're randoms. They're strangers. You know what I'm saying? So you should never care about their opinion. Now that doesn't mean that you should shit on people. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if you feel like everything I do is legitimate, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not out to manipulate nobody. I'm not out to hurt nobody. I'm not out to do nothing. I'm just being a real dude with my shit. So anytime I say some shit, it's some real shit. So if somebody's offended by that or upset at that, I can't help that. And a lot of you guys need to develop that fuck it attitude. Fuck it. That's how you're gonna take it. Fuck it. That fuck it attitude. You need to have that attitude where you don't overly concern yourself with someone else's opinion. Now, if someone disagrees with you and they just want some clarification, you be like, well, look, you might have misinterpreted it wrong. This is what I meant by it. Right. And then you provide that clarification. And if they still butthurt, fuck it.
That's it.
You just leave it the fuck alone.
That's it. We got another call.
All right, I'm ready for it.
All right. 463, you're on live with K Zaggin and Miles. What's up?
Yo, this is Coach Brody.
Coach Brody, what up, man?
You know what? Hey, I appreciate what y'all doing out here tonight. You know, I got to say, when I first started working on my game, I'm definitely introvert. I'm an ambivert, but I'm definitely an introvert. And what worked for me, and this may not work for everybody else, but what I had to do was put myself in a situation to have success with women. I used online dating and Facebook and learn how to, maneuver my game to be upfront with women. And after having enough positive sexual experience, then I felt more comfortable approaching women up front. But before I had that positive experience of seeing interactions with women, to know that they could see me sexually desirable, to know I could have my way with them for free, or them trying to spend money on me to do it and stuff like that, before then, I wasn't comfortable with it. And for me, that's what did it for me. And I just used the fact that I was introverted and knew how to set up environments and situations to deal with women in a way that suited my personality, so that I would have the confidence and the positive experiences to be able to deal with women outside of that.
Facts. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, appreciate that, Brody. Real quick, I would like for Cliff Hector and Electrical, I would like for y'all to call up so we can delve a little deeper into what y'all got going on. Because he says, real quick, Brody. Brody, my bad. You got anything else you want to add, fam?
No, Not too much. Yeah, I just appreciate what y'all doing. But as far as like the whole introvert lane, what I will say is this: for a lot of guys, if you know how to suit your game right, you know how to do things the right way. You ain't got to go too far outside of what your natural inclination is. Like me, I'm a blurred, right? Black nerd. I like anime. So shit, for me, most women, when we first link up, it's gonna be some anime and chill, and they know they fucking before they come over, and that suits my temperament with how much social interaction I like to have, but I still get what I want to get out of it. And it still sets things up. And also, if you're dealing with women over social media or you're dealing with women online, you also have the opportunity of vetting some of their common interests before you actually link up with them. So you're not going in completely dry, going in completely blank.
That makes sense. And let me just transition from that to this. That's part of vetting women. It's understanding common interests. Now, you don't want to get in the habit of asking women a bunch of interviewing type questions and shit. And I'm not saying you do that, homie. I'm just saying for most guys, because you don't want to have a list of everything you like and ask us, do you like this? I like that. You don't want to do it like that. But like you said, vetting their common interests, so that way you know whether or not they can flow with how you have your shit going, or if they're gonna go against the grain of that shit. Okay, if you're dealing with a chick who like to go to church retreats and she go to church 3 or 4 days a week. Is that your lifestyle, or are you going to adjust your shit so you can fit with her lifestyle? Okay, that shouldn't happen like that. So as you're saying, you're a blurred, you like to fuck with women that are into, cosplay, anime, and all that type of shit, because that's right up your alley. And that works, and it speaks to compatibility. It's easier to have a free-flowing conversation with someone you got something in common with.
Right. That's facts.
And I want to say one more thing before I go. One more thing. I'm gonna have a drop coming soon about meme game, because a lot of people they not up to date with that. Like with meme game, listen, you can post a meme online, you can stay to yourself and do your thing, mind your business. If you say something in a public forum, it's going to mean more to a woman than if you say it directly to her if you're in her inbox. So you can post a meme, and within that meme, if it shows that women find you sexually desirable, especially if it comes from real experience, and women can see that about you, and you're touching on something that's a common interest, something that shows dominant, strong sexual energy, something that shows that women desire you in a sexual way, and it got, the common interest at the same time, then within a single picture, you are touching on several factors that make a woman attracted to you at the same time, to where women will throw the pussy at you. And oftentimes that's better than even being on dating apps. So, I think dudes do need to understand that better. Like, meme game is some strong shit. A lot of people think it's funny to be like a social media comedian, but listen, that's a lane. If you got a lane, you got a niche, you go for it. It ain't got to be anime. It ain't got to be whatever it is, whatever you into. There are women who are into that, and they are frustrated because there's no men who are into the same thing that they actually want to fuck.
Mm. Well. Part of that is a lot of men are not being themselves. They're not giving women an opportunity to know who they really are, because they're trying to be what they think the woman wants them to be so they can get the woman. Whereas if all you just introduce who you are, you're supposed to be proud of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Right. You ain't supposed to be ashamed of who you are as a person. If you're not proud of who you are, and if you don't want to represent your true self to the world, especially to these women, something's going on with you that you need to fix. You need to fix that shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Because that's the only way you're going to have any favorable situations happen with these females out here. But not just with women, just in life, because there are business opportunities you could be missing because you come off awkward to people, and people just don't want to deal with that type of energy. But thank you for the call, fam.
All right, no doubt.
All right. So Electrical says, my issue is that I'm passive aggressive type, meaning that I'm only going for positive, choosing signals, aka her making the first move, and for the aggressive type. Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing with that shit. Being a passive aggressive man is not a good thing, because that means you're not assertive. That means you kind of sit back and wait for shit to happen to you. Okay. And that, as a man, you don't want to sit back and just wait for shit to happen and then you react to shit happening to you. As a man, you want to go forth and make shit happen.
Right.
To your liking. Look, let me just say this for Electrical and anyone else listening. If you really want to get these women to respect you and to submit to you, you have to have an assertive attitude. Okay, you have to be the take charge type of guy. You're very decisive, transparent, that type of shit. And you just go out there and get what the fuck you want. And not only that, but when you're dealing with these women, you should be dictating the pace and flow of the interaction. You should be dictating it. You should be moving it in a direction you ultimately want it to go in. And the women that just readily follow what you're doing, those women you fuck with. The women that buck and they want to resist and they want to be reluctant and all that, those women you get rid of. But he says her making the first move. I just want to know how many women are you getting like that you're actually attracted to? Because guys be killing me. Y'all act like women are just walking up to you in droves every fucking day of the week.
Right.
Just throwing pussy at you. And I'm going to tell you, I've had plenty of women come up to me, but I'm going to tell you about 75% of them were very unattractive. 75%. Most of them were women that I didn't want to deal with. Bro, let me just say this and I'm going to pass it to you, Miles. I went through like a 3-4 month period where nothing but obese chicks approached me. They were all big. They were all big. And I got mad, bro. I was getting mad. I'm like, really? Do I look like a chubby chasing ass nigga? God damn it. Because it was all big. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the hell? They weren't even a little overweight. They was way gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell is going on? I would look in the mirror at myself like, I mean, I still look cute. I mean, what the fuck? And I said, I was mad, bro. I was mad. Now I know how women feel when they go through a long period of time where the most unattractive motherfuckers approach them. They looking at themselves like, what the hell is going on? So and I was the type of guy. I was friendly to women, even women who rejected me. I was just a friendly dude. Like I remember one time I was in the mall, and this one big chick approached me, and I was in my early 20s at the time, and a friend of mine was like, man, you know, people that we know might see us talking. You know, they might see you talking to her. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I don't mind having a conversation with a chick, even if, you know, she's ugly and shit. I'm friendly, but, you know, I'm not going to give her what she wants, but I'll chit-chat for a moment, right? And then I'll dismiss her. But I was a friendly guy, so I don't know if it got out that, hey, there's this black guy in San Antonio, you know, he'll let people, you know, big females talk to him and shit. You know, so I would talk to chicks, but, you know, I would dismiss them because they would, you know, invite me to different things, offer to take me out and that type of shit. And I'm like, nah, I'm not, that's not going to happen. I'm not interested. But my thing with guys, again, there are very few guys who get approached on a semi-regular basis or a regular basis by women they are actually attracted to. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know how that's working for you, Electrical. I want to know how it's working for you, bro. All right, Miles, you got it, fam.
Man, you know, with me, whenever I hear that passive aggressive shit, I just think bitch. Like, like passive aggressive is just, that's just bitch behavior to me, bro. Like, I'm not necessarily calling you a bitch. I'm just saying that's straight bitch behavior. You understand? If you only like men, we're pretty logical. We go after what the fuck we want, and that's that. If you're doing anything else, you're not behaving like a man. You understand? And that's pretty much it for me. So when see, again, it's like dudes love to come up with these. It's like, intellectually speaking, if I can speak intellectually about my weakness, then that makes it okay. You understand what I'm saying? It's like these dudes want to, oh, well, I'm passive aggressive. All you really saying is that you a choosing signal, nigga, and you got bitch tendency. That's all. Just because you explaining it in a intellectual type way, well, I'm a type A person, and you know I'm passive aggressive, and blah, blah, blah. Nigga, you a bitch. If you a man goes out and get what the fuck he want. If you're not doing that, you're not a man. Period. And I ain't got nothing else to really say to you.
Okay. I'm inclined to agree with it. I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree. And I don't know, man. Dudes, just say you're scared, man. Because here's the thing. This is what guys got to understand.
You just say you're scared, right?
Just say you're scared. The natural order of things is this. Man sees woman, he goes up and approaches. No, back in the days, right? Back in hundreds of years ago, the women would drop the handkerchief. They might drop a handkerchief. But at the end of the day, you still got to go up and talk, though. Right. So to me, even if a woman looking at you and winking at you, I mean, what does that mean? Because if you have bitch-ass tendencies, once you start talking, she's going to see the estrogen flow all about the conversation. So what difference do it make at that point? But I don't know, man. All that choosing signal shit. Now, if you see choosing signals, gentlemen, and you feeling the woman, and you think she cute or whatever, act on it. But realistically, dudes act like they go into a bar with like 120 people, and all the women just giving them choosing signals all goddamn day, and they got the pick of the litter. She smiled at me. She smiled at me. I think she smiled at me twice. Yeah, I got me some going now. Come on, man. Come on, man.
We got another call.
Yeah,
when are you ready to rap though? Because I don't know.
No, we can do it after this call. After this call, we'll do it.
Yeah, I ain't ready to be on here all night and shit. Yeah.
No. We'll do it after this call.
All right, let's go. 786, you're on live with K Zaggin and Miles. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, K Zaggin and Miles?
What up?
What up, fam?
Hey, the thing I noticed, like, I don't really believe in introverts. Like, I've noticed that, like, people that call themselves introverts, what it really is that they have a fear of being socially rejected. So then they stay in.
Okay, I'm with that.
I don't mess with people, but that's not. But if you put an introvert in a room by themselves with a camera, you'll realize how much a lot of them talk. You know what I'm saying? When they're playing video games, they're talking to their friends loud. But then when they're in public, I'm quiet, or I'm an introvert. No, you're not. You're just scared. You know what I'm saying? You're just scared to interact with people. So it's all.
I agree. What's so funny, caller? And I talked about this in previous videos. You'll have a guy where he'll work with women. Okay, not so much with women he's attracted to, but just with women in general. That can't keep that motherfucker quiet. He just talk all fucking day. But the reason why he talk all day to those women is because, one, he's not sexually attracted to them, so he's not nervous.
Right.
It's only the women that dudes are sexually attracted to that they get nervous. So it's not the women then. It's you. Because why can you talk so freely and you could be yourself with these women over here that you don't want to have sex with, but the moment you see a chick with a fat ass you think it's cute,
facts.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to do the same thing, but I realized what the problem was. What happens is that, like, when you see a girl and, like, she's beautiful, like, you get mesmerized, and that's the shit that fucks you up. Like, you look at, oh my gosh, she looks fine, and then what happens is,
Carl, let me ask you a question. Go ahead. Finish your thought and answer me this question once you finish your thought. Why are you mesmerized? I really want to know why y'all motherfuckers is so mesmerized by chick with fake hair and makeup on. But go ahead, family, you got it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the thing is that I used to be like, okay, I look at a girl and it's like, it's almost like you, because you like the girl, you want her badly. So you be like, okay, what can I do to get it? But in reality, it's like, if she don't fuck with you, she don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is, like, if I see a girl and I'm like, okay, she's beautiful. Okay, now stop thinking about how she's beautiful and then try to see who she really is after. So, like, yeah, I have made that mistake in the past. You know, I'll get mesmerized and I'll be like, where you from? That's like acting all these dumb questions.
Yeah, fair enough. I think most guys gotta admit they was that way at one point in time and shit. So fair enough. Here's my thing, real quick. Okay, most of you guys know what shelf life is. A woman's beauty should have a shelf life of about this long. The moment you see her to the moment you decide to walk up and talk to her, whatever time frame that takes for you to walk up and introduce yourself, that's how long her beauty should have a shelf life for. After that, it don't matter no more. Because once you shake her hand and be like, hey, my name is whatever, everything she say out of her mouth, she's being judged on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Her beauty don't even matter no more. She should be like a brick wall to you. Because at this point, I'm more worried about your attitude, whether or not you're going to be a compliant chick, whether or not you're pleasant to be around. I'm more focused on that. Yeah, the beauty got me here, but your attitude and your compliance will keep me here. That's what I'm looking for.
Bars.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, caller.
All right, man.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. Right. Yeah, man. Let me see. 50 says none of these niggas ain't using PTSD.
Post-traumatic disorder excuse.
Nah, man. Well, you know, like I just wanna, you know, make a last thought. You know what I'm saying? Again, I just want guys to understand that, you know, we should stop using these labels to try to steer us away from the truth. The truth is that most dudes are just scared. You understand? That's the truth. And if you really have a phobia Because real quick, a recluse, it says a person who lives a solitary life and tends to avoid other people. That means you're literally going out of your way to not make contact with another human being. Now, the truth is, most of y'all want to have contact with another human being because y'all trying to fuck these girls, right? So you're not a recluse. You understand? Mm-hmm. And you don't have a phobia of talking to people because you talk to people every day, right? So what's the truth? The truth is that you're scared, and the only way to get over your fears and anxieties and your nervousness is to get used to the shit, which is going to require you to talk to these females, period. It's going to require, the only way to get used to something is for you to do it more and more repetitively, period. Like a jump shot or like anything else we want to do in life. You understand? You have to get to a point where you face the things that you're nervous about doing by doing them. Now, if your problems extend beyond that, where you have a real phobia, then you need to go talk to somebody.
Facts. You
understand? You need therapy. You need to go deal with psychological issues. But let's not forget that there are guys out here with psychological issues that none of us coaches can really help. Let's be honest.
Nope.
You understand what I'm saying? Let's not act like that don't exist. But other than that, you just scared, nigga, and you need to just talk to more bitches. Let's be honest.
What killed me, Miles? Imagine you a dude and you see what you think is a bad bitch, and you are literally sexually turned on by her, but instead of talking to her, you would rather go home and jack off to an image. You know what I'm saying? I just don't imagine that. You're like, yeah, that chick was bad. Instead of talking to her and having her assist you with that nut, you rather go have an empty nut in a toilet to an image. I'm just saying. To me, look, I ain't trying to clown nobody, but how sorry is your life? You know what I'm saying? If that's your life, if you are literally, now there's nothing wrong with just masturbating, just generally speaking, but if you are literally substituting real interactions with women in lieu of a fucking hand job, you fucking yourself all the time. Come on, man. That's not the way. As a man, you don't want to live like that. And if you do, change that shit ASAP, man. Mm-hmm. All right, gentlemen. Thank y'all for coming through. All y'all that came through with the questions, all y'all in the chat, all the moderators, all the callers.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all, no doubt.
So what's going on? What's going on tomorrow?
Oh yeah. Tomorrow we got the show. We're talking about these men seeking validation, man. There's been some video clips that's been going up on Facebook. There's been some online messages and text messages. Because these guys, man, men are taking L's, man. This week is like, God damn, these dudes is tripping. And I don't want to get too much into what we're going to talk about. But, when we get done with this, I'll let you know right quick, give you more detail of it. Because I want these guys to kind of, be anticipating shit. But we're going to talk about, gentlemen, there's just a certain way you have to interact with these women. Anytime you have an interaction with a woman, whether it's positive or negative, always walk away with your head held high, with your dignity intact. You have men out here, they just letting it all go because they're emotional. And we're going to talk about that shit tomorrow, noon Central Standard Time. Manhood is a Skill Set Show. Come fuck with us.
All right. Cool, man.
Miles, you want to plug anything on the way out?
Yeah, always remember, Bad Boy Membership. Go to badboymembership.com. You know what I'm saying? And check me out on Instagram. Hit me up at Miles in the Game on Instagram. And you could hit the link in my bio where we can set up the 60-minute consultations. All right. So, yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, man.
All right. Fuck with us tomorrow. We out.
Peace.